As you just heard, the Department of Social Development may take disciplinary action against one of Oscar Pistorius' witnesses, probation officer Annette Vergeer. She apparently rendered private services to the athlete's defense team while still employed by the department. For more on this, we're now joined by Social Development spokesperson Lumka Oliphant. Lumka, good evening and thank you for joining us. Now, first things first. The department is said to be consulting with its lawyers on whether to institute disciplinary hearings against Vergeer. What is the progress of that consultation?
Firstly, let me just break it down for you what has happened. There is nothing necessarily wrong for any probation officer to testify for the defense or the state. But probation officers who work for the department have a process to go through. And in this case, we have learned that Ms. Vergeer had not put an application, or there was no process through the department as an employee of the Department of Social Development to say that we need to avail somebody. So there's nothing wrong, probation officers are there to make sure that the court comes to the right decision. It's not about an individual. So just to come back to your question, is that we are of the understanding that she did apply to work privately, but the department had not granted that approval for her to work privately.
So with regards to that not having been granted the approval in time, did she break any rules?
Public service officials, all of them, you have to declare if you are going to do any private business, so that we don't have any conflict of interest. We are required as public servants to make sure that we ask for approval. It does not matter whether you are a probation officer. If you are going to do any other work, you must declare through the department that you'll be doing work privately, and we must be able to give you that approval.
We had a quick discussion before going on air in terms of with regards to the terminology, that it's very tricky and very, very crucial. Yes. What charges, if any, will be brought against her?
Which is why we said that we are consulting with our our lawyers, and also we are consulting within our HR policies, so that we may be able to see what was the breach. But we need to stress that on the records of the department, there is no request from the defense or the state to avail a probation officer for this case.
Okay. Now, Lumka, let's touch on the issue of some of the things or the evidence that was given by Vergeer in the Oscar Pistorius trial. She spoke very negatively against the state with regards to correctional services and the facilities that we have in the country. What do you have to say about that?
We would rather not get into the nitty-gritties of what happened in court. It was evidence that was brought before the court. The decision was made by the court. Whether she assisted for the court to come to the right decision is another matter altogether. But we believe that the court has made the right decision on the matter of law. And I would rather not have us talk about the evidence. We're not lawyers, we're social development.
Now, the department, has the department ever dealt with a case like this before? Or is this the first of its kind? Or has the precedents been set before in terms of dealing with a probation officer who hasn't followed the right procedures, or who has not gotten approval from the department to go ahead and testify in such a case?
We would have to get statistics from all the provinces, because this is just Gauteng, and because of the high profile of the case, we were asked a lot of questions about the particular probation officer, and we had to make sure that we provide the answers. But we would have to go through every single province to tell us if they have had such cases, because we don't keep them as a national department.
Now, Lumka, as the department is consulting with its attorneys and lawyers legally to find out, and with regards to the standing and what process needs to be done, if there is a process that may take place, What is happening in the interim? Is probation officer Vergeer, Annette Vergeer, is she coming into work? Is it business as usual?
She's an employee of the department until something tells us otherwise. We all have rights, as we know in South Africa. We just can't pull out a person from work because there is something that may be pending against them. So it is business as usual.
And finally, how long is the process going to take, the consultation with your lawyers?
I'll be lying to you if I gave you all the answers and the dates and the time, but we'll keep you posted.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining us. That was Department of Social Development spokesperson Lumka Oliphant joining us.